Hello, thank you for allowing us to present our business plan for court-appointed parent sponsors. Our business plan was prepared by Sarah Huggett, Laura Westman, Damon Yates, and Bonnie Resendez. Mission Statement. Our mission is to reduce the reentry rate and increase placement stability among biological parents in order to achieve a more healthy, stable, and happy family life for the children. The team. The Executive Director and Office Administrator is Bonnie Resendez. The President of the Board and Group Leader is Deb Murdoch. The Vice President of the Board and Group Leader is Marty Jewell. Secretary of the Board is Robin Chronister. The Treasurer of the Board is Mitch Rodriguez. And the business advisors, consultants, and volunteers are Laura Westman, Sarah Huggett, Damon Yates. Our Executive Director and Office Administrator, Bonnie Resendez, is in the process of getting her AA in Business Management as well as a Nonprofit Management Certificate. She has been a foster parent for 15 years and currently teaches a parenting class called Parent Project. Suffice to say, she has experience in this field. Our two support group leaders, Deb Murdoch and Marty Jewell, are social workers that have worked extensively in this field. Our business advisors, Laura Westman, Sarah Huggett, and Damon Yates, are currently studying business at Folsom Lake College and collaborated on the creation of the organization as well as co-wrote the original business plan for CAPS with our executive director. Market summary. The need for foster care is an unfortunate reality affecting every county within every state. There are many factors that affect conditions that lead to children being removed from their families, but most of these factors are directly or indirectly related to social, economic demographics of the locality. Although first-time entry into foster care is difficult to prevent for at-risk families that have not been involved with the child care system before, we feel that dramatic improvement can be made in the reduction or reentry as well as length of stay within foster care. States are required by the feds to reduce the reentry rate of foster care cases to below the national standard of 9.9%. As a result, counties within the state of California are required by Assembly Bill AB 636 to have a system improvement plan in place to obtain this national standard. This chart represents the historic reentry rate into foster care for El Dorado County as well as the state of California. Market analysis. After services are utilized within the county and objectives have been reached, then what? Our services would still be required to maintain a reduced reentry rate and reunite families as quickly as possible. If we take a snapshot of the counties within California, 48% of them currently exceed the national reentry standard. Each county that has had difficulty reaching or maintaining the national standard would be a prime candidate for our services. This chart displays the reentry rate for all reporting counties within California. Take note of the yellow bar, which represents El Dorado County. Opportunities. For every problem, there lies an opportunity to address that problem. In El Dorado County, they are above the national standard of 9.9% for reentry into foster care. We have an opportunity to help the county comply with their system improvement program by providing services unique to addressing this issue. Business concept. The company plans on establishing a service that is unique to El Dorado County. By providing the biological parents of foster children with a support group, life skills classes, and a sponsor, we will help increase their chances of a faster and more successful transition into a more permanent living situation with their children. By utilizing the expertise of the Board of Directors, resources will be established to ensure a service that is sustainable and successful. In addition, CAPS is exploring the possibility of providing more in-depth services to further improve the abilities to provide safe and stable homes. Competition. We are in a niche market and competition is very limited. There are a few organizations that offer services within the foster care system. However, they are absent of the services that we provide. Goals and objectives. We have the following goals. Increase the number of successful reunifications by 50%. Decrease the length of stay for children in the system by 3 months. Decrease the recidivism rate by 25% per year over the next 5 years to obtain the federal goal of 9.9%. And finally, we have an objective to provide our services to 100% of all new cases within El Dorado County. Financial plan. Starting any business is a challenge, so to increase our chances of success, we feel that our startup capital should be able to cover all one-time purchases as well as operating expenses for the first 6 months. Our total startup funds required is $43,994. Startup cost and funding. Since we are a tax-exempt nonprofit organization, it is easier to obtain grants, donations, and people willing to raise money to support our cause. Below is a breakdown of the funding sources for our startup capital. Revenue and profit. The pricing structure for our services is based on a flat charge of $500 per case and adjusted for a 3% inflation rate year over year. El Dorado County averages 203 new cases each year, plus an unusually high rate of repeat cases that is added to this base. Our revenue projections are calculated using the average number of cases yearly, while showing a 25% reduction in repeat cases year over year as a tribute to our services. Monthly expenses were extrapolated to the end of the first year, and following years were adjusted to reflect a 3% inflation rate. Our forecast actually shows profits greatest in the first year and declining slightly over the next few years until stabilizing in year 5. This is expected since the success of our business is dependent on reducing foster care, which is also a source of our revenue stream. Financial plan forecast. This chart shows a graphical representation of what we estimate our expenses, revenues, and profits for the next 5 years to be. Resource requirements. The following are required resources. Personnel, to include executive director, office administrator, 2 support group leaders, trained class instructors, approximately 3 volunteers, 2 consultants, a board of directors, which includes the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Other resources are also required, such as office supplies, which include a computer, stationery supplies, learning materials, phone, internet, website, and a building for a secure location to hold our classes and support groups, as well as an office to run the administrative work from. Other resource requirements, like services, include 6 weeks of life skills classes, 8 weeks of support group, a personal parent sponsor for the duration of each client's case, and finally funding, which we would receive from the El Dorado County Child Protective Services, as well as grants and fundraisers for startup costs. Risks and rewards. Let's go over some of the risks and what we do to handle those risks should they occur. First one, El Dorado County declines our direct services. Well, we could contract with one of the agencies already working with the county, or we could offer our services to the 27 other counties within the state that are not meeting the national standard. Another risk is the actual results don't reflect the desired results. We are able to change our structure, process, and delivery quickly to obtain different outcomes. We have expert consultants that will identify the needed areas of improvement to help us meet our objectives. And another risk, what if the budget constraints cause our program to not be funded? Well, we'd have to focus more on grants and fundraisers, and we may need to cut back on some of our services, but operations could continue due to a strong number of volunteers and donations. Now, rewards. Children are ultimately in a more stable environment. Counties recognize its significant savings and result in reduction of reentry into foster care and shorter durations of foster services, and other counties would request our services to help meet their objectives. Key issues. Our near-term issues include establish nonprofit status by filing 501c3, obtain county court approval, obtain startup funding from Jim Casey Youth Opportunities Initiative, and filing for federal grants. Our long-term issue includes obtain a larger building for classes and administrative staff, because by postponing or delaying the building could have a negative effect on our professional image. Advertising. Our advertising consists of flyers to Department of Social Services, a website designed for donations, information for social workers, and information for clients. Occasionally, we'll send out emails for certain events and promotions. CAP's webpage. This is the court-appointed parent sponsor's website. On this website, parents or customers would be able to get information on services offered, as well as upcoming events. For people interested in making donations, would also be able to find information on how to do so on this website. Thank you. This concludes our presentation for court-appointed parent sponsors.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying.
Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all.
We can't go on pretending day by day
that someone somehow will soon make a change.
We are all a part of God's great big family, and it's true, you know, love is all we need.
We are the ones, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.